right, it's Tuesday, August 8th. A little bit of a smaller crowd, it looks like this morning. You'll all be back soon. All right, this is just a correction. We'll get through it. So, in any case, just a little bit about the schedule first. Tomorrow is SMSI earnings. So today at 12 p.m., we have a show with Brian Perlis for VIPs only to go over SMSI earnings, what to expect. Okay. Also, CPI is, I believe, Thursday. CPI is Thursday, and that's something to be aware of. By the way, I think that's what's been pushing RK down. We'll talk about that a little bit more in just a second. First, let's just look at the earnings calendar. So last night we had HIMS, Assure, Augex, SkyT, Palantir, Lucid, and Beyond. This morning we had Globally, GFS, Datadog, LI, NRGV, MPW, UPS, Workhouse. This afternoon we have Celsius all the way down. Okay, so that's the ER schedule. Now, from last night's ERs, I liked HIMS the best. I liked the Assure second best. We'll get to that. We're going to switch to our morning show list, and you'll see those two are going to be in the top 5. HIMS and Assure. Augex also had a good report. You can see there's a bit up there at 428, up 8%. Augex, I think, is great for the long term. I'm not in the top 5 today because the beat was just very small. It was just a very small beat, pretty much in line. No surprises. But what's great is that their product that they're building with HCA is on track to be delivered by the end of the year. When that announcement comes out, Augex can really explode. Okay, so I think it's nice to have a longer term position in Augex, but didn't see anything I think that would justify like some sort of big move today. Okay, with Palantir and Lucid, in my opinion, these stocks are overvalued. I actually reduced some of my Palantir position in my personal account this morning. It's a darling. It has a huge sentiment premium. Analysts came out today. Basically, they're around $15, $16, $17 price targets for the most part. Dan Ives reiterated his $25 price target from Wedbush, but the revenue growth here is anemic. I don't know how you justify a valuation like this with like barely any revenue growth here. Tiny guidance speed on the revenue. That's going to be tough. So this is like a Tesla in terms of its premium. And there's a sentiment out there that they're going to grow into this premium, that the investments they're making now in AI and enterprise AI is going to really pay off a year or two from now or more. So Palantir, you really got to be a believer, and it's getting that sentiment premium. But for me, I thought it's time to reduce a little bit in my IRA. Lucid, they missed on the top line. They missed on the bottom line. I think it's a really expensive stock. I'm not interested in owning it. It might even be a good short. I don't follow Beyond, but they missed guidance, and you can see it's getting hit by 16%. And Globee was basically in line, but it's 3% down. Tough market. GFS, they missed just a little bit, down 3%. Datadog missed just a little bit on their revenue guide, and they're down 20%. So this is a really tough market that's looking for any excuse to take profits. For this afternoon, I'm most interested in looking at Celsius, Twilio, Kodak. Okay, of course, we have SMCI and Rivian. I think we're going to be selling a little bit of SMCI going into the report. It's just been up big. Also looking at Docs, Laser, there's a whole bunch of others. There's like 50, 60 reports. These are the ones that I think have the best chance of outperforming tonight. Celsius, Twilio, Kodak, Rivian, SMCI, and SAUN, probably not going to have a great report, but people are interested in that stock, so we'll be watching. All right. So that's like the ER rundown. Now I'm going to get into more detail of HIMS and Assure and why it's in the top 5 here. Now, let's go to the morning show. But you know what? I probably should cover ARK first and this worry about CPI. So I was on a panel last night in Wolf Spaces, and basically, I mean, there's data out there that expectations for CPI are that this will be the first year-over-year increase in a very long time. And I think that the markets have been front-running this. Bonds have been going down, yields have been going up, and RK has been going down. That's the correlation. I don't know why bonds are up this morning, but you can see this big move down on TLT had a lot to do with, hey, CPI is going to be hot. Interest rate expectations are going to go up. Let's take down the growth stocks in RK. This morning, I don't know why it's up. We don't see RK up in correlation with that, so I don't know what's going on there. But and anyway, that's the big picture. CPI is a big deal, and people kind of front running this sell-off in growth stocks because of that. And if we look at RK, there were a couple levels here we talked to you about yesterday. So key level here, 45.43, which are broke. So we're now below that 45.43 support. Your next support is the 50 DMA, which it broke yesterday intraday, and it's back below it now, 44.50. It looks like 44.75 or something is that 50 DMA. So where do we go next? Where's the next possible support here? I think we gave it to you on the 20-week moving average. We have 42-ish, and then the bottom of this candle is 43.53. So somewhere in here, right? I think the risk reward starts getting really good somewhere in here. I think the bottom is near. Yeah, maybe CPI comes in hot, and maybe that's what takes it to the 20-week MA. But I think you bounce then off of that. That's my prediction. Could be wrong. But it matters what RK does, because we noticed yesterday, like almost all these stocks that I have on this list yesterday, like it was following RK tick for tick. Like our stocks that we had ACHR up there, Gevo, we had Overstock. It was like tick for tick all day long with RK. So it definitely matters what's going on, and we should pay attention. All right, so now going to what I think is going to be our top picks for the day, but we'll go through and maybe we'll change it. Number one, Hims. I went through about 4 earnings reports last night, the transcripts, these conference call transcripts. And to me, Hims came out on top. Hims had the best report with like no warning flags, right? Top line beat, bottom line beat, top line guidance, top line increase, bottom line increase. He went through the CC. There were no like caveats in it at all, okay? So that was really nice to see. So let's just look at the technicals here. It's up big this morning. 50 DMA. If we stay above that, then where do we go from here? You have candle resistance at $9.32. And after that 9.32, you got candle resistance at 9.61 and then 10. So I think 9.32, 9.61, and 10 are your upside targets. And to the downside, I guess $8.99, $9 will be support. And right here at 8.73. Man, is it going to do gap fill? I guess in this market, anything's possible, because we saw it with DraftKings and I was shocked. I was shocked that DraftKings basically did a complete gap fill after a blowout report. So we're just kind of, but the difference here though is Hims has not been up in the past 3 months. So Hims has not been up in the past 3 months. And if you look at DraftKings, it was like exploding into the report. And maybe that's why you did a gap fill. So maybe we're not going to see a gap fill in Hims. So I really like Hims. That's my number one pick for the day because of the strength of the earnings beat and raise, and because no caveats at all. I've been on the last 2 or 3 conference calls with Hims, and this one was the best one. Like just no caveats at all. Like all their targets, they're like, they have like a target for 1.2 billion revenue for 2025 and 100 million EBITDA. And they basically really emphasize that that's no longer a target. That's a base. They're like, that's our base. And they said it many times. They're like, this is our minimum, and we're on track to get that to be our base. And, you know, we could be increasing that, you know, later, early next year, they could be increasing those targets. So Hims is just executing really nicely on all parameters. All right. That's your number one pick. Assure here, Assure Software, smaller company, 276 million. Now, this one, take a look at this. You can't see it in the headlines. Well, what you see in the headlines is this: 5 million revenue beat, and then adjusted EPS 11 cents beat 1 cent. So that's pretty big. Let's look at the full year 2023 guidance. 111 to 113 moves to 118 to 120 versus a 112 estimate. Okay, so this is like a beat all around. Now, as far as what can we expect from the magnitude of the move, what is the key to adjusted EPS? 40 cents. Yeah. All right, great. So what can we expect? I don't know how they do that adjusted. Their EPS was like, I think it was like 3 or 4 cents. 11 from, I saw 5 cents last night. I guess that's adjusted. I guess their EPS was 5, their adjusted EPS 11. But anyway, okay, this is how I do it. I'm not going in and looking at PEs and saying, is this undervalued or is this overvalued? I'm assuming the market yesterday had the right price, right? The market yesterday was efficient. So now we have new information coming in today. What is the delta of that information? And I let that inform me where the price target is going to be. Well, here's the delta. They give it to you right here. They give you the previous guidance. There it is, previous guidance, 111 to 113, midpoint 112. They give you the adjusted EBITDA percentage of that, which is midpoint 17.5%. Then they give you the new revenue at 118 to 120 and the new adjusted EBITDA at 19.5%. If you do the math on that, you'll see that they're basically guiding for an increase of 18% in adjusted EBITDA. Okay, 18% adjusted EBITDA. So you could see there's a case here to be made that, oh, can this move up 18%? Now, there's a couple caveats. The caveat is, well, number one, that's adjusted EBITDA, not their net income. But the other thing is, in the conference call transcript, there is a tailwind that they're experiencing this year and next year, which is going to end next year. It has to do with some federal program, some sort of employee credit program or something that creates more business for them, and that's going to disappear by sometime in 2024. Okay, so not necessarily these great numbers we're seeing. Investors won't credit that. Investors won't necessarily give a full multiple for that. They were talking about other tailwinds they have in other parts of their business that's going to make up for that going forward. But this one did have a caveat in it, whereas Hims didn't, which is why I'm making Hims number one. So but let's just look at what would an 18% re-rating look like. So 1341 was the close yesterday. So let's see what 18% looks like. 1341 times 18% takes you to 1582. So let's just go back and see, is that even in the realm of possibility? Well, look, you have candle resistance here at 1446 and then 1474 and 1588. It kind of is in that realm of possibility, right? So right up here between this candle resistance and these two candle resistances, I think is where the target can be as a swing target, okay? Now, this market is just tough right now, and we'll see how far it gets, but I think that's a possibility. So I do like a short today. Maybe it's going to take some time for this to come to fruition. You can see after last quarter, it took, they gapped up, and then it took a month or so until it reached its peak. So prior to the earnings report, it was $11, and then after a month or so, it got to like $17. So maybe this is something where you have kind of, because of the market conditions, maybe you got to wait longer. But a short looks like a blowout on the headlines, and I really would not be surprised to see that the $14 ask here even could be a good buy for today. All right, DraftKings has been up here since the earnings beat on Friday. I'm putting it back here in the top 5 because this morning they had analyst Truist come out with a $44 price target. And I think it's mostly reacting to that. Also, Jim Cramer came out and gave his bless. He was like pounding the table on DraftKings last night. Now, usually Jim Cramer, I don't care about him or listen to him that much. But when everything else is going in their favor and you're riding up to 20 DMA and you're getting all these price target increases, then it definitely probably does help in that kind of scenario. Okay, you get like stack catalyst. So DraftKings, I'm putting it up here as a stock that could overperform today. By the way, in the same show, he said, ACHR, don't like it. It's a money loser. Okay, FYI, we're still in it from yesterday. It's nearing a big support line, though. Okay, so that's DraftKings. Then Tilray entering the United States beer space by buying eight beer brands from Budweiser. Now, when I first saw this, I'm like, oh my gosh, did Budweiser sell Bud? I mean, is this a kind of like a Bed Bath and Beyond overstock situation where a great brand is going to some other company to manage? No, they didn't buy Budweiser beer. Anheuser-Busch or Bud Light parent, Anheuser-Busch. Okay, Bud Light. They didn't buy Bud Light, but they bought 8 other smaller companies. But I like this from a sentiment perspective. This is very high risk because, Tilray has been basically, I think a lot of people, including me, thought that, hey, this is like a U.S. cannabis stock or something like that, but they're not. They're just Canada, and they haven't been doing well at all there. Like they've been trying to look for other segments to go into because they haven't been doing well. Like they're trying to get into food and stuff like that. But I think this is worth a risk because this is tagged with Budweiser today, BUD. Instantly like this, they have 8 brands now in the United States, 8 beer brands, and so I did take a position in this, and it's in between these key moving averages. So look, you have resistance at 255, and there was a big seller. I saw 255 on level 2 today in pre-market. So if it breaks out 255, 270 is your target, and I'm out. Okay. And we'll have to see what happens, but I think it's a worthwhile risk in the right size. Ballard Power, BLDP. They sell hydrogen fuel cells like Plug. Today they had their biggest European order ever. 100 hydrogen fuel cells by one company for buses in Europe, hydrogen fuel cell buses. So that's pretty significant. And let's see over here what the targets could be. 492, 497 candle resistance, and then maybe a swing target to 520. But again, this is a tough market. Positive catalyst not being rewarded that well. So manage your size on this. Be careful. Don't be a hero right now in this market. Okay, that's Ballard Power. And Overstock, we're getting killed on. Absolutely, we're getting killed on. I'm getting killed on. Our fund is getting killed on. It's our largest position, but we're not backing down. I'm not worried. We could see further downside to the gap fill here, which would be 31.34 was the high on that day, but the close is 31.09. So somewhere between 31.09 and 31.34 is a possibility, especially if RK moves to 42. Then you can definitely see that happening in Overstock. And I'm just holding, man. If I have to take, be holding a big loss this month, so be it. Did my research on this. I think I got the sentiment analysis right. I think I have the fundamental analysis right. I think I got the speculation right and everything. So app rankings looking really good still. Unbelievable how high those app rankings are holding. So I'm looking for 43 plus. And major options flow in Overstock, by the way. People looking for big moves in Overstock. Every day, lots of options coming in on that as the stock's going down too. So that's Overstock. All right, we have a little bit of news out on Drio. You can take a look at that. I don't think it's a game changer today. They're expanding a partnership with, they're adding diabetes management to a regional health plan, which I think previously they had, I don't know if they had mental health or cardiovascular, whatever state they had, it was hypertension. So they added diabetes to that. So that'll increase their revenue, but I don't think it's a game changer type of catalyst for Drio. Okay, we have SMSI earnings tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow afternoon. Okay, so Brian Perlis will be with us at 12 p.m. today to go over that. So maybe we can have an edge. Maybe he has some data, channel checks, things like that, which can kind of inform the possibility of an earnings beat. If not, he can at least tell us what to look for. Right. So when the earnings come out, we know how to interpret it. We know what to look for, what would be good, what would be bad. So pay attention to that. 12 p.m. today, you can join us and we can discuss SMSI and get ready for tomorrow's earnings. All right. All right. That's about it. ACHR is taking that. I don't know if it's directly because of Kramer, but we have this 20-day MA support here at 525. We had the good news from the Marines yesterday. I'm going to hold on to this, I think. Okay. So that's that. And Gevo didn't work out. I really, Gevo, what was that? They had a big, right, 950 million loan, which didn't come through yet. But man, these two stocks, I think, will do really well if and when RK rebounds. Pan W, man, what's going on in Pan W? Man, we're taking it on the chin because we're in some of these positions below the 20-week moving average right now. Where is the support on this? This is not fun. So I don't see. Okay, here it is. The support is the bottom. Here it is. Support is 210.12. 210.12 is your next candle support right there. RSI really low. Man, I wouldn't be a seller here. I wouldn't. I think I'm going to wait it out. Okay. So in any case, HIMS doing well right now as a show. Oh, Assure doing well. What's going on? Is that you guys? Man, I wanted to get more Assure when the market opened. So HIMS and Assure doing well here in the pre-market. Assure very light volume. HIMS is, I guess, that's some volatility there. But okay, all right, we're gonna lock it in. But this is not in a market environment to be a hero in. Unfortunately, I can't wait for that market environment to return, and I think it will. I think it will return. Let me just see if there's something come out, another analyst or something on HIMS. Let's just see. No, because there's a little bit of volatility. One second, guys. Let's just see. Let's see if anything new came in the last few minutes. Okay, no. All right, so that's it. We're going to lock it in. HIMS, Assure, DraftKings, higher risk, Tilray, and BLDP. All right, HIMS, Assure, DraftKings, higher risk, Tilray, and BLDP. Overstock, I don't know when it's going to rebound, but I'm looking for 43. That's We'll see you guys at 12 p.m. today for SMSI.